Hello everyone, this is Impulse, and welcome back to another episode of our Futurecraft Let's Play. This is episode number 18, and this week we are on the snapshot 13W07A. And if you are new to the Futurecraft series, first off, welcome. Secondly, just want to let you know a little bit about what Futurecraft is. It's a Let's Play, but with a twist. We play this game in the current snapshot, or basically latest version of Minecraft you can get, unofficial or official, depending on what's the last thing that they've put out. And the other twist that we do here, and I keep saying we as a kind of a signal for it, this is a kind of a shared thing here that we're doing. We do a choose your own adventure style let's play. So basically the premise is, and we just started this last episode, is at the end of the episode I'll give some options on some things that we could do in the upcoming episode, and you guys basically leave comments and vote on it, and basically tell me what you want to do. Kind of share this world together and make decisions together, and majority rules as usual. Anyway, this is one of the things that we worked on last week, minus the cows. We didn't get a chance to put them in there. I did end up changing things around a little bit, just to solve some of the issues I was having. I was trying to drop them down a block, so that basically when you breed them, the baby floats underneath this one block high gap and comes over here. And I wanted to drop them down so we didn't have to worry about them bunching up over here. But that seemed to cause some other issues. So kind of went back to my original design, which works okay. There's some issues with it. Tango Tech, another YouTuber out there, let me know that there is currently an issue, basically a glitch in the game, to where if I was to log out and log back in right now, this little guy right here would be outside of his little cage. So hopefully that's something that Mojang gets fixed soon. Because until then, I can't really leave this area until this guy grows up, or else he'll get out. But you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. And just to show you, I have this lava hooked up. And the reason why it was falling before, last episode I made mention, I don't know why it's falling down. The reason why my original design it wasn't was because I had a sign right there. So you can see, little guy should be just fine. And once he grows up, because of the wooden button, given a little bit longer of a delay before it unpulses, gives it just enough time to burn the adult cow to the point to where he'll cook. He'll die, he'll cook, we get his meat. Not raw, but cooked beef. So cool. Like I said, I'm going to leave this guy anyway. We'll find out if he glitched out when we get back. Chances are he will be, but we'll find out. Because I want to head on over to another project that we left off last episode with. And it's raining out. That's okay, because I have the Tunnel of Love. Not the official name. No, probably not even close. But we're going to take it anyway. Head on over to the Enderman Farm, and if you watched the last episode, you'll remember me saying how great it was. I was basically bragging about my Enderman Farm and how safe it was to be there and get your XP, and then I died twice. So looked at some of your guys' comments, some ideas, some suggestions on what I could do to make it safe, and implemented some of those. So I will show you what I did as soon as we get there. Be right back. Okay, so I'm coming up on the Enderman Farm, and you may already see some changes have been made. First off, this room now has a water curtain going around it. And second off, I had to put these half slabs in here because I was getting Enderman actually teleporting down here, because there was a 3 high space here, because I had this kind of block removed here so we could get access to those chests. And it sounds busy up here. Yep, I haven't added any more layers, but because they are all staying put where they need to be, it's doing pretty well. So here's what we did. Put some glass on here, ceiling, so we basically have a 1, 2.5 high ceiling. Which is nice, gives me a little room I can still kind of walk around and have some head space, but they can't get in here because they're 3 tall and we only give them 2.5 clearance. Also took the half slabs out from on top of the hoppers, XP was getting caught like crazy in there, and somebody suggested that if I took those out that it might not happen as much. So let's give it a run real quick. Got my volume way down. Hopefully it's doing okay. So you see, seems to be a lot better than it was. It still does get caught up a little bit. Not a big deal, but not as bad as it was for sure. And guess what? I haven't gotten killed yet. That's a good sign. So yep, I took those half slabs out and basically put these half slabs in. And yeah, they are a little glitchy, but they aren't actually getting out. And I also put these lights in just because I didn't want any of these guys spawning on top of these hoppers. And these lights here hopefully will prevent that. I haven't come across any that's had full health or anything yet. So it's a good sign. And I actually prefer this better because I have a little better access to these chests down here, which are starting to get pretty filled up with some ender balls, as Doc M likes to call them. So yeah. Anyway, let me put the water on top here. Okay, let me get on top of this for you. Don't want to waste too much time over here. We got a big project to get started. I'm sure you guys are all itching to find out which one it's going to be. So you can see I just powered this line here for the lights and basically did all water on top of here so that they won't teleport here. And still have our access going up, so I can build more layers later. But yeah, 40 XP, I don't even know what to do with it. I need to enchant something, or I don't know. I need to get rid of it. I don't like walking around 40 XP. I know some of you guys are probably saying, Panda4994 walks around with 121 XP. Yeah, well, Panda's a little braver than I am. I don't have anything to enchant though, so I'm going to stick with it. I don't really feel like... You know what? I guess we could throw... I'm still trying to get some feather falling boots. And somebody help me out here. It's either 24 or 25. That's the money spot for feather falling. I can't remember which. So I made the boots, and in order to, if I block off a whole corner here, that would block off 1, 2, 3 bookshelves, which would be 24. I'm gonna go for 24. Let's see what happens. If it's 26, somebody please let me know. I know one of them's got better odds. Ah. Ah. Fire protection 3. Okay. I'm gonna slowly start filling up my rejects chest. Yeah, someday I'll go to the Nether and be playing with fire or something. I might need these, who knows. But not today. Today we have a different mission. So, I've shown you the progress that was made off camera this last week in between episodes. Now it's time to get started on something new. So I'm going to go over to the building site of the newest project and fill you in on what got the majority vote. I'll see you there. Alright, welcome back. Here we are. As you can see, the winner was the witch farm. So it was a close vote. I was actually somewhat surprised. I thought there would be a landslide victory, but it was pretty close. So the final results came in, and it was option A of building the wither skeleton farm was 7 total votes. Option B of doing the portal entrance got 4 votes. And option C of doing the witch farm got a total of 9 votes. So yeah, pretty close. If you voted, thank you so much. Hopefully you will continue to vote. I'm going to continue to give you options at the end of each episode. And if you didn't vote last week, make sure you vote for the options I give you at the end of this episode in the comments section. And we'll keep trying to run this series that way. And I think it's going to be a pretty cool way to do it. So again, if you voted and your option didn't win, please don't get discouraged. It doesn't mean we're not going to do it. It just means that either it will be another an option for another episode, maybe at the end of the next one, or I might do it off camera depending on what kind of project it is, and just give an update. And we'll do it that way. So don't worry about it. We'll get to it eventually. And I am pretty excited about this project, to tell you the truth. I've never built a witch farm before, so this is going to be quite the experience. Had to do a little bit of research and try to decide how I wanted to build it. And we'll get started here in a minute. I just want to turn around and show you. I have a little bit of a build station set up. I moved the portal over here. It was spawned actually on top of the witch hut, which was crazy. I can't remember what episode it was in, but it was pretty funny. I built a portal in Nether, and it actually put it right on top. You can actually see the hole in the roof where it was. So I moved it over here, got a bed, just slept in it for the first time, so if I die, something happens, we'll be over here, or I can at least sleep through the night when I'm building. And then I have just a ton of materials, stuff that I think I might need to build this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some of these now so we can get it started. And I don't plan on building this whole thing on camera. I think it would just take too long to do, so you know, we'll get started on a couple pieces, and especially if it's you know, going to take me a long time to, you know, something like connecting all the string and stuff like that takes a long time. I'll kind of spare you that detail and build it off camera. So here we are. We're at the witch hut, and the first thing we want to do is put down the spawning floor. So the easiest way to do this that I've seen is to basically you have your top floor right underneath the roof. And you can just go around to the corners, except on this side that sticks out here. On this side that sticks out, you can actually go all the way out, kind of perpendicular, I guess, with that. So you get a little extra room than the corners would show there. And I'm just going to make a ring here, just so that we can get this thing outlined. Okay, so that'll be the ring of my first floor, and then the next one will be right underneath the kind of first floor here. So again, I just want to make a ring just so I have a point of reference, and it will follow the same as the top ring. Just go all the way around like so. Okay, and now that I have that, these are going to be where they spawn. I can actually get rid of the entire witch hut. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the entire witch hut destroyed. All that's left over are my two rings, basically the borders of my floor. And I'm now just going to fill them in real quick. I'm going to use these half slabs, and they're actually on the upper part of the block so that witches can still spawn on them. And the reason I want to use these half slabs is because with the shifting floor design, and if you hadn't figured it out by now, that's what we're going to be doing, is a shifting floor. It just seems like the mobs actually, and it may not be true, it may just be me, but it seems like they go through the half slabs a little easier, a little better, and you know, they don't take damage, which I don't really care about, but it just seems like it works a little better for shifting floors using half slabs. Just me. Maybe there's some technical data to back that up as well. I don't know, but that's the way we're going to do it anyway. So let me fill this all the way in. I'm going to back myself into a corner here, but that's okay. Because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take out one of these sides. I guess I'll take out this back side. So I'm taking out, and I'll tell you why here in a second. Taking out this whole edge right here. And the reason is because when we shift the floor over, it's going to shift from left to right. So from here, it's going to shift over one block, and witches will still be able to spawn there. But if it shifted one more, then we get regular mobs. And not that I don't really want regular mobs, but I do want to have the extra space for the pistons to be able to push 12 full blocks. So you'll probably get a better idea once I'm there. Okay, it's getting dark, so let me go ahead and take care of the. Let's get the sun back out real quick. Good morning. I didn't really feel like dealing with creepers and skeletons, and yeah, I did spam torches, but as you can see, we still got a zombie hidden in the trees over there. Okay, so like I said, we are going to shift the floor. Basically, if I'm a piston, I'm going to push it that way, and it would shift over this way and shift back. So that's kind of the plan here. And if we did this right, we should have a... It was a 7 by 9, but I took an edge off, so it should be 6 by 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Oh, jeez. Use my good pick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Okay. So now what we need to do is set up our pistons. It's going to be pushing these. And on the top layer, we'll do the top first. This is, oop, I threw 2. A little easier if you're in creative, I suppose, because you can fly around. But I'm just going to make, I guess I don't need too much here, kind of placeholder blocks for where the pistons are going to be. This top set of pistons is actually going to be right up against the edge of this. So as I was trying to determine how I was going to do this switch farm, I thought about, how we should do it, if I should use the, kind of the Enderman style spawn pad and piston pusher design, or I have actually a smart shifting floor as well that's in the channel that me and my buddies Schizoman and Roby1 created. I thought about using that too, but just the way that it stacks wasn't, I don't know, wasn't perfect for me, for a witch farm. And checked out some other people's designs and ultimately decided that the best one, in my opinion, for my taste, was KaboPC's. And well, him and JL. And I'm messing this thing up, I just realized. I just say that and you're all thinking, well, if it's KaboPC's, why are you building it that way? Yeah, just looking at their design and kind of understanding their reasoning, their thought process that went behind the design, it definitely made sense how they did it. And so I'm not gonna mess around with it and try to get creative and do anything that's going to cost me efficiency here. I'm gonna have a hard enough time, clearing out all the caves and stuff and making sure I didn't want to lose anything here. And making sure everything's lit up, that I don't know how efficient this is going to end up being anyway. So why risk losing any more efficiency with the design itself? Kind of my thought process. So what I'm doing here, I'm just going to basically building a place to put some fence gates, because that's what's going to be on this layer here. And the same thing will go over here. And this thing is pretty painful to build so far in survival. See him hopping up, hopping down. I do like survival though. It just feels much better when you build something and you actually earned it, Okay, so I put all that down just so that I could have a place to put these fence gates all along here. Cool. And you can open them all up. And basically these fence gates help it so Mobs that are kind of on the edge when the floor shifts will fall this way, and plus they can't really spawn on top of there, and it just works out pretty good having them. Also, we're going to create some distance between the floor and the pistons so that you have air blocks along this edge here. Because if the game chooses to, pick this block as a spawning block, it's going to then look for 5 blocks in, a random direction. But it could choose to go, this way, 5 blocks, and it's looking for air at basically where my head level is right here. And if it doesn't find an air block, it will basically choose not to spawn on the, on that block there. So we want to create as much airspace as possible, help the spawning algorithm, and that's kind of what these do. Okay, so now that those are in place, unless they've made a change, those should stay put. Looks like we're all good there. Just get rid of this. Okay. So the next step is to put some glass behind those gates. Save those ones for later. So let's see. Oop. Shift click helps. That was a great addition to the game as well. The shift click so you don't activate this stuff. And we'll put this glass on both sides here. And the difference with the two sides is going to be that one of them is going to have a set of pistons that are right up against the glass, and the other set's going to have an airspace. So I said in the beginning, because we took this back side out, that the floor is initially going to shift that way. So this is the side that's going to have the pistons directly be, touching these glass blocks. So let's get up there and do that. Took a while for the ender pearls. Alright, so let's get it. Oh, my bad. Let's see if I can get back up there. Grab these while I'm at it. Oh, I missed again. Fail. Here, make it easier. If I fail again, I'm quitting. Oh, I lied. I'm not quitting. Don't worry. One more try. Get up there. Am I gonna? Okay. You can do it. Get on up. There we go. Alright. About time. I'll just put these here. Oh, I'm doing that again, aren't I? Oh, we'll get it. Don't worry. Like I said, I've never built one of these before, so I kind of expected to stumble my way through it, to be honest. Don't face up. It's never easy to get those pistons to face the way you want them to, is it? And I can't back up either because those gates are there. What if I did this? Walk up. Nope. That didn't work. I was hoping I could walk on it. Alright, let's try it this way. Yeah, it works. We'll just do it like that. Or like that. Okay. Having a rough time today. Cool. Finally. We did it. We have it now. Alright, so those pistons, you can see what's going to happen when they extend. It's going to push the glass block, it's going to push the gates, which will in turn basically push this whole floor over one. And we are at the limit here, so you can count. Pistons can only push 12 blocks. You can put a 13th block on there and the piston won't even try to extend. So here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. Perfect 12 blocks. And on this side, we are going to need the piston to be back one more, so we create that airspace instead of getting up there. Spent all that time trying to get up there before, and I didn't even need to do it. This is bugging me, though. Wish I had a shovel with me. Get out my way. Need some space. Claustrophobic up in here. So I'll just do one floor for you guys because the second floor is going to be identical. So hang in there with me. We're almost done with at least one floor anyway. Okay, so let's get those on there again. Oh, I was getting in the groove and then I just blew it. There we go. Okay, perfect. So the floor shifts over. It's got that space there to do so, and then these ones will basically push it back. All right, and getting dark again. Give me 1 sec. We'll get it light out. Okay. So the next part is we are going to need to set up the tripwire, and I guess I will need to get back on top of the structure for that. Hopefully it'll be a little easier to get up there now that there's more blocks to jump onto. Alright, so grab some solid blocks here because the tripwire is going to go, let me see if I can get this right. Obviously it's going to go right here at head level, but we want it to be on, I believe, that block there. The reason being, do I have one? I do. When this thing is powered, if it was 1 block over, because of the way that pistons get bud powered from 2 blocks above, if it was 1 block over this way and kind of floating above this piston, it would power it. And we don't necessarily want this to be bud powering the piston, so we move it back 1 more block. We wanted it eye level just so that it runs basically strung through the air there, I should say. So I think that's right. We'll just put some all the way across. Okay, and I'll quickly go to the other side. Do the same thing over there. And that was, be a little smarter about it this time. Okay. Cool. So we got our tripwire hooks on, and then directly behind this block that these are on, we're going to be putting some sticky pistons facing downwards. So this will be fun trying to place. Let's see if I can do it from up here. I don't know if I have the reach. If I jump, yep. This jumping and block placement thing takes way too much coordination. Alright, now I should be able to reach. And then solid blocks under that. And I probably, let's see, what did I miss? It feels like I missed something. Nope, I think I'm okay. Alright, because what we're going to be doing, and maybe I made this difficult on myself by placing this in this order, is there'll actually be a set of repeaters on top of these blocks here. And I made things hard on myself, that's all. To be able to put those repeaters on top of that block. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I can make it work. We'll just do something like this. And some scaffolding. Don't you wish I could just fly up there and do it? That would be cheaty. Alright. So, repeater on top of here. And then basically when tripwire is activated, these pistons will come down and the block will be right behind these repeaters, and then we'll be able to send a signal through it and that will power those pistons. So Cool. This was extra block here, just to make my life easier. Alright, and then we are going to have another set of repeaters, not on top of that, but there. And let me get on up there. Might just have to jump place them or something. More jump placements. There we go, that works. Cool. So we'll just be supplying power to this side here, and it'll go through this block. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side and also finish off the bottom as well, just to get everything to this point, kind of all the way around, and I'll meet you back in a second. Alright, I am back. I am done getting the tripwires hooked up, getting basically all 4 parts wired up, and it took me a little bit of time to do. Tripwire is always a little bit of an annoying thing to hook up, but you can see looks pretty good. I also went ahead and hooked up the clock that sends a signal kind of around this whole thing in a circle, and what that does is, here, let me get up in here real quick. Oh, just hop up on this floor. I've already let it shift a little bit, but you can see when you trip this tripwire, those pistons will extend and put that block there. And this is kind of cool. If you're kind of in between 2 blocks, both will extend, so both rows basically will shift at the same time. So what happens is, with these extended, they'll allow signal to kind of flow through here and power that piston there. And we're going to send a clock signal kind of around in a circle here along this wire, and just follow it along. Here's the clock starter here, and it will travel around in this whole circle basically infinitely, and kind of goes up there to the top layer as well. And what that does is makes it so that whenever there's a block here, it will power that block, go through the repeater, go through that block, go through that repeater, through that block, and power that piston. But only when, you know, the tripwire has been tripped and that's extended. So give you a demonstration before it gets too dark here. Come start this clock, and that you can see it flashing. Now I'm gonna have to cover this up because all the light updates are causing me a bit of lag. But now that these are flashing, you can see what happens is, if that was to extend, that signal would make it through, and then it continues on that way and basically makes it so that the floor will shift back and forth as long as the tripwire is tripped or activated, however you want to say it. I'm having a hard time. Alright, get on the floor here, and you can see it's not really letting me stay on it. There we go. See? There's a block underneath me, but I'm falling through it. And it will just continue to shift until I'm gone, basically. There we go. And that's basically how it works. So like I said, the next step will be for me to kind of cover up all the lighting. I just wanted to show you how it worked before I covered it up. For more details on how this thing works, KaboPC put together an excellent tutorial on it. It's kind of what I've been following in order to build it in my world here for you guys. So you can check that out. There's actually a world download you can get from it as well, so you can play around with it. But I think I will leave it here for today and do some of the other stuff kind of off camera, covering it up and stuff like that. It's mainly aesthetics, and then I do need to dig out underneath there so that the witches will fall. Oh, and I forgot to mention, total facepalm moment. This bottom floor was actually 1 block too high. So I noticed it when I was starting to wire this up. Apparently I'd gone right underneath that kind of eave or whatever you call it hanging out from the witch hut, and I needed to be 1 block lower than that. So I'll put an annotation in the video at the point where I did mess that all up, to hopefully save some other people from that headache. But yeah, as I was going to hook this up, I realized that that would have conflict. Basically, power would have been conflicting with that top floor unless I moved the whole thing down one. So, whoops. Like I said, first time I built it, I knew I'd be making some mistakes here and there. So, anyway, let me pause right here for a moment so I can get together the options for the next episode, and I'll be right back to present them. Alright, so here are the options for next week's episode. The first option, option A, will be to continue working on the switch farm. We'll build more on camera, put in the part where they drop down, and then we're going to have to do a slime separator and basically get to the point to where we're killing the witches. And that's probably all we'll be able to fit into one episode. So basically A is more witch farm. And B is, I noticed I've been traveling quite a bit in the nether now, getting into that portal and back home, and I want to basically create another hub, or at least clean it up so that we can travel, through the nether, and it looks a lot nicer and kind of know my way around and be a bit of building and making the nether look nice. So option B is the nether hub, and option C is going back to one of the options last week, is that to do the stronghold entrance, so where the railway transit station meets at the end portal there, and getting a nice entrance into the end. So again, run through it real quick. Option A, more witch farm. Option B, nether hub. And option C is the stronghold entrance. See it up there on your screen. Please remember to go to the comments. Go right now. Put down your vote and choose what we're going to do next episode. Choose your adventure. Alright. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one.